Seriously, this has got to stop. I've had enough, Dan. I'm at my wit's end. When are you going to step in and put an end to this?
Hi to you too. What's with the angry text? Did something happen? Was it something I did? Or said? Or did you just wake up on the wrong side of the bed?
It's not you, it's your mom. She came to the house again today. Unannounced, of course, like she always does. I've seriously had enough. This has got to stop. Who does she think she is? What's her deal? She's got her own house. Why does she feel the need to come here all the time?
She came by the house today too.
She's here every single weekend. Without fail. I've had enough. She's got to stop. This is getting ridiculous. With you away on your business trip this weekend, I was really looking forward to relaxing and actually having the house all to myself for a couple of days. It was going to be so quiet and peaceful here. And then she shows up again. Ugh. And when I told her you weren't here, she had the nerve to tell me, "Oh, I don't mind." Ugh. She knows that's not what I mean. What's with her?
My mom sure does like to spend time at our house. And hey, if she's saying she's okay with me not being there, what's the problem? Pretend she isn't even there. Leave her alone and just take some time to relax and enjoy yourself this weekend, okay? My mom can take care of herself. There's no reason you should have to sacrifice your time and energy looking after her.
And how exactly am I supposed to pretend she isn't here? It's very obvious to me that she is. You can't be serious.
Huh. It's never bothered me before. Why is it bothering you so much?
Because she's your mom, not mine. She isn't family to me. As far as I'm concerned, it's the same thing as having a stranger in the house. I have no special relationship with her. You've got to know I can't just ignore my mother-in-law. I'd never hear the end of it. Pretend she isn't even here. You can't be serious. Please think about what you're about to say before you say it.
Really? Are you sure you're not overthinking this? I think that you're letting this whole situation bother you a lot more than it should. Don't think about it so much.
I don't care if I'm overthinking this. I don't. I just want your mother out of my house. Tell her not to show up unannounced anymore. I'm sick of it. I want her out. In fact, tell her never to come to this house again. I've had enough. This is my weekend, and all I want to be able to do is relax. Why is that so hard for you to understand? Ugh!
Jeez, you don't have to be so mean about it. This isn't just about you, you know. Think about how my poor mom is feeling right now.
How she's feeling? You've got some nerve. What do you mean, how she's feeling?
She's been lonely ever since my dad passed away last year, living all by herself now. And my folks never had a lot of money, so it's not like she was able to go away to properly grieve and process his passing. I'm sure she's still mourning his death. It's gotta be so tough for her. Why can't you understand that? My mom wants to be able to at least spend her weekends in an environment that's more lively than what she's had to get used to. And if we can provide that for her, then why not? It's the least that we can do for her. Please, try to be more empathetic, will you?
So you think that's what's happening, huh? Well, if that's the case, why don't you go to her house every weekend then? If you love your dear mommy that much, you're always welcome to go back to your parents' house and let mommy spoil you to both your heart's content. But stop dragging me into it!
You just don't get it, do you, Sarah?
Oh, this ought to be good. What do you mean? I don't get it. Huh? Please, explain to me just exactly what it is that I'm not getting. Go ahead.
My mom is all alone in that house. All the time. If she doesn't get out every once in a while, she's going to turn into a total recluse. It's going to drive her crazy. So it's in everybody's best interest for her to come to our house every once in a while to rejuvenate herself. Trust me, this is the best option for everyone involved.
And what about me? What about giving me my time to rejuvenate, huh? Has that ever crossed your mind? Ever since your dad passed away last year, your mom's been coming to the house every single weekend. I've had enough. I need time to rejuvenate too. Get her out. I'm serious.
Who asked you? This isn't about you. My mom is the one who's suffering. You're an adult. Take responsibility for your own well-being and figure it out. I can't believe I'm even having this conversation with you.
What did you just say to me? You better watch yourself, Dan.
I'm saying you have to take responsibility for your own mental well-being and just figure it out. You want time to feel refreshed? Then make it! That's on you, not other people. So don't go blaming my mother for any of this. Look, I've gotta go. I have an early morning tomorrow. Night. And try not to bother me anymore with these petty texts. You're wasting my time. I'm working! Bye.
Hi, Sarah. Long time, no talk. How have you been? Hey, April. It's been too long. How are you? I hate to bother you like this, but there's something that I feel I just have to ask. Do you have a minute to talk? Sure. What's going on? This might seem like a weird question, but are you really okay with my mother living with you guys? You two have never been the best of friends, to be quite honest. So I was a little surprised when I heard that my mom was moving in with you and Dan. But if there's even a small part of you that's against this idea, I personally think you should just say no. I don't want them to force you into something that you don't want to do. Dan is always taking my mother's side, and I wanted to make sure they weren't coercing you into anything. Huh? What do you mean, live with us? You're scaring me. Judging from your reaction, I can tell my family hasn't told you a thing. I was afraid of that. Those two are truly unbelievable. So sneaky. Seriously, what are you talking about? Live together? Dan hasn't mentioned a thing about anybody moving in. And of course, neither has your mom. Live together? You're scaring me, April. Yeah, my mom texted me the other day about it. Said that she wanted to let me know that she was moving in with you and Dan. From the way that she said it, I thought that it was maybe already a done deal, and that she had started bringing her stuff over. Seriously? It caught me completely off guard, and I became a little concerned. So I tried to ask Dan whether or not this was actually something he was considering. And he started giving me some speech about how it's his job as her son to do as she wishes. Whatever that means. Then, when I asked whether or not you were okay with it, he just told me to shut up and mind my own business. I wasn't getting anywhere with him, so I wanted to talk to you about it directly. His reaction kind of told me you'd been left in the dark. You've got to be kidding me. Seriously? That can't be true. I haven't heard a word from either one of them about your mother moving in. That's what I was afraid of. Well, I'm glad I asked. And for what it's worth, I suggest you confront my brother about this sooner rather than later. Before it's too late. They're already starting to move. When I went home the other day, the two of them had already gone through and packed up most of her stuff. They seem dead set on her moving in with you two. Seriously? Uh-huh. They'd already thrown away a lot of the stuff she doesn't need anymore. And my mom said that they'd already started moving some of her stuff into your house. Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary lately?
Now that you mention it, Dan did say the other day that he was turning our extra room into an office space. And to not go in there under any circumstances because he'd be putting in a bunch of his work stuff in there. I didn't think anything of it at the time, but it did all seem a little strange, now that I think about it.
Yeah, they're probably sneaking my mom's stuff into that room behind her back.
This is unbelievable! So underhanded. And they thought that they could get away with that? They should have just come to me directly, instead of sneaking around behind my back. What the heck? I can't believe this.
They probably thought you'd just say no if they'd come to you about it. I guess they figured it would be better to just start sneaking her stuff in little by little, hoping that you wouldn't notice until it was too late.
Of course I'd say no. I can barely handle Dan's obsession with your mom as it is. And now she wants to move in with us? It's going to be unbearable. This is all just getting to be too much.
I'm so sorry you have to deal with this. It can be so embarrassing, having a brother who still calls his own mother Mommy. I can't even imagine what you've been having to put up with.
Your brother's obsession with your mother has just left me speechless, ever since we got married. He hid it real well while we were dating, so I was totally blindsided when we got married and he stopped holding back. It's a lot to deal with, that's for sure.
Seriously?
Yeah. But by that point, we were already married, and so I turned a blind eye to it. I told myself that it was a good thing, that he just really cared about his mother. What else could I have done at that point? And while that may be true, that doesn't mean he has to disrespect me like this. He's gone too far this time. I'm going to tell your brother exactly how I'm feeling about all of this. The things I have to deal with.
I really don't know what to say.
This is seriously the last straw. I've had enough. I'm done turning a blind eye to all of this.
What are you saying? Are you considering getting a divorce?
It's a possibility. No, it's more than a possibility. I see no other option. There's no coming back from something like this. I feel so betrayed.
Well, if you really are going to divorce my brother, could you do me a favor? Could you please give me a heads up before you actually go ahead with it? I want to cut off all ties with my mom and brother too.
Wait, you want to cut off all ties with your brother and mom? Really?
Yeah, it's something I've been thinking about for a long time now. My mom's always liked my brother more, and we grew up with him being the center of her world. I was always cast aside, and so I feel no sort of affection towards either of them anymore. Honestly, I think it's long overdue. This will be good for me.
Oh, honey. I had no idea.
Uh-huh. I kept up appearances, though. Talked to them and stuff because I thought that's what family was supposed to do. But then, they went too far. And I've been thinking about cutting all ties with them ever since. It needs to be done.
I had no idea you'd gone through so much. Okay, you got it. I'll let you know when I'm about to divorce your brother. Though it'll probably be a while. I've got to line things up for life after the divorce. I've still got a lot of work to do.
Thank you so much. And don't worry about me. Take your time. And when you're nice and ready, divorce that loser. And then we'll both be rid of those two for the rest of our lives. Hooray!
Dan, open the front door. What do you think you're doing? Waking me up like this and throwing me out? Because Mom is here? Why do I have to leave just because your mom is here? Isn't this what you wanted? What are you talking about? You always hated it when my mom would show up unannounced, complaining to me that you could never relax with my mother around, right? Yeah, I did. So what?
Why does that mean that I have to be thrown out of my own home?
Well, I'm doing you a favor. I'm kicking you out to give you as much space as you want. You know, to feel rested and refreshed. I'm the good guy here. I swear.
What?
Well, if you can't get any rest whenever my mom comes around, as you claim, if you leave the house, that'll solve the problem. Everybody gets what they want. Everybody's happy.
Don't be ridiculous. This is our house. The house that you share with your wife. And yet you're deciding to let your mom, who's always showing up unannounced, into the house and kicking me out? I've never heard of anything so insane. You're unbelievable. Why are you on her side?
Shut up. Until my mom decides she wants to leave, go and find yourself somewhere else to stay. That'll give the two of us time to relax, enjoy having the whole house to ourselves, living the life.
Are you kidding me? I'm still in my PJs. And it's finally the weekend. I thought I'd be able to sleep in. But you have the nerve to wake me up just to throw me out of my own home. I don't even have any makeup on. Where am I supposed to go?
I gave you your wallet and phone, didn't I? You'll figure it out. I have faith in you.
That's besides the point here.
What are you so worried about your appearance for? It's not like anybody's going to pay any attention to you, you old lady.
How dare you say something like that to your own wife? You're a horrible husband. Absolutely despicable. How dare you?
Nobody's going to care about how you look. Don't be so full of yourself. Oh, but I have no makeup on. Ha.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? As your husband, I'm just looking out for you. I'm being considerate. You should be more thankful. Look, this is what's best for the both of us. I want to relax at home. My mom wants to spend time with me, and you need time and space alone to rejuvenate yourself. Well, you leaving the house is the quickest way we can all get what we want. Like I said, as your husband, I'm just looking out for you. So leave. I'm wasting time I could be spending with my mom. Get out of our hair. Until my mom decides she wants to go somewhere else, you need to go find yourself somewhere else to stay.
Okay, bye. I'm going to my parents' house.
What?
Yeah, and I'm never coming back. So go ahead. Spend as much time you'd like with your mommy. Congratulations! You've officially driven your wife out of your life. I hope you're happy.
Whoa. Hold up. You're going to your parents' house. What are you trying to say?
I told you. I'm never coming back. Read between the lines, dimwit. We're getting a divorce.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and divorce me.
Oh, I'm serious. I'll send you the divorce papers once I've settled down.
You're bluffing.
Now you can spend as much time as you want with your mommy. Aren't you happy, you little mama's boy?
Hold up. A divorce? This is a joke, right? You're just angry because I woke you up and threw you out.
Oh no, I'm serious. Besides, you're the one that told me to act like an adult and figure it out. Well, in order for me to be happy, it looks like divorce is my only option.
Wait.
Oh, and by the way, I know all about your little plan to try and move your mother into the house with us. I went into your office. I know you've been sneaking your mother's stuff into our house.
You little. You went into my office when I explicitly told you not to. I don't care if you're family. You just don't do that.
What about your mom then? She's always showing up to our house unannounced. That's just as unforgivable.
That's different. She's my mom. She's welcome to come here anytime she wants.
No, it is not. And no, she is not welcome here anytime she wants, you little mama's boy. Going around calling her Mommy, Mommy. I've had enough. I'm so sick of you. If you love your mommy so much, go ahead and spend the rest of your life with her. I've already made up my mind. This is the last time I'm ever going to see your face. Goodbye. Hey, April. I hope I'm not bothering you. I just wanted to let you know that I'm officially going to divorce your brother. Really? He chose your mother over me, and woke me up out of bed just to kick me out of the house. Told me that I was interfering with his precious time with Mommy. Wow. I can't believe it. What he's done is unforgivable. I'm moving back into my parents' place. Even I didn't think you'd go that far. I'll come pick you up. They threw you out still half asleep, right? Seriously? You'd come and pick me up? That'd be amazing. On behalf of my horrible family, let me pick you up and drive you to your parents' house. I can't believe my brother would actually do something like that to his own wife. Of course I'll come and pick you up. And I'm so sorry my brother and mother have been so horrible to you. There's no reason for you to apologize, April. Okay, I'll head to the corner store now. Can you meet me there? I've actually got something I've been meaning to give you anyways. So you offering to come pick me up is super helpful. Thanks. You have something you want to give me? What is it? It's a good one. I'll show you once you get here. Okay, see you in a bit. Thanks again.
Sarah, I've sent my mom back home for now. That's what you wanted, right? We're good now, right? Please, just come home.
Are you sure you don't want to spend more time with your precious mommy?
Look, I'm sorry I woke you up and threw you out of the house. I regret what I did, and I know I went too far. I'm really sorry. Please, come back home.
It's too late for an apology, Dan. The damage has already been done. I still want a divorce, and I'm taking my half of everything we own. I'm getting what I deserve.
No, please. Don't do this. Please stop with this whole divorce business. I'm begging you. I'm sorry. I really am.
What are you so upset about? You obviously love your mommy more than you ever loved your wife. You've made that abundantly clear. All you're losing is your annoying little wife and the money I'll be taking from you in the divorce. Although you'll probably not even notice. What with all that money you've got coming in from your father's inheritance.
What inheritance? What are you talking about? I told you, my father had very little money when he died. You know full well I barely even inherited any money.
Wow. Barely any money, huh? Really? $300,000 is barely anything to you? You've got some nerve. You ignore and disrespect your wife. Then you throw me out of my own home? Not to even mention the constant lying. You're a deplorable, horrible excuse for a man. I'm so going through with this divorce. Good riddance.
Wait. $300,000? What are you talking about? Do you know something that I don't?
The documents you tried to hide along with your mother's stuff. The bank statements. I saw it all when I went inside your office. I know about everything you've been trying to hide from me, Dan. Right before your father died, you split up his savings amongst yourselves and tried to hide it from me, right? That $300,000. I know about it all. There's no use in trying to hide it from me anymore, Dan.
How do you?
And it's too late for excuses. I've already made copies of all of the bank statements. I've got my evidence.
What? What are you doing? looking at your husband's bank statements without my permission. Are you insane? You've got to be kidding me.
What are you so mad about? Your inheritance won't be part of the alimony. I'm not getting any of that. Lucky you.
That's not what I'm talking about, and you know it.
From what I've heard, it's pretty common for people to hide their inheritance from their spouse. Money can make people act crazy.
I'm talking about you going into my room when I told you not to. And then on top of that, taking pictures of private documents. You don't do that. What were you thinking?
Oh, I get it. You're worried I might show the photos to your sister, huh? Scared she might use it as evidence against you? I get it. Why wouldn't you be? It's her inheritance, too. And yet you and your mother have been lying to her about it. You've been trying to hide it from her. Your sister told me everything. Like how, even though she's your sister, she's barely gotten anything that even resembles an inheritance. Apparently, she's only been given a few $1,000s. Unfortunately for you, your father asked April before he died to look after his money for him after he passed. He told her he'd be leaving the family a pretty good amount of inheritance money. And to make sure your mother and brother don't spend it recklessly. Isn't that funny?
He said that?
And yet, all she got was a few $1,000s. She suspected you two were hiding it, so she's been looking around for quite a while now.
Wait. I was going to tell her eventually. So please, don't say anything to her. And don't show those bank statements to her. Or to anybody else, okay? Please. I'm begging you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I've already given her the photocopies I made. Oops, my bad. You probably didn't want me to do that, did you? Oh well.
You did what?
When you kicked me out of my house in my pajamas, she came to pick me up right away. I had to show her my appreciation. It was only right.
Don't you dare joke around with me. Do you have any idea what you've done?
What I've done? You don't get to say that. Think about what you've done. Scheming and going behind your sister's back the way you have.
No, it's not like that. I swear.
I'm sure she's going to sue you and your mom sooner or later. So before you get too busy, don't forget to process the divorce papers too, okay?
No, wait. Do you really think my own sister would sue me?
If I were you, I'd go home to your mommy and prepare for the worst. Your lives are about to take a very sharp turn for the worst. But you get what you deserve. Bye! With my divorce from Dan finalized, I'm now back at my parents' house and much happier. And as for Dan and his mom, well, apparently April hired a team of professionals, including a lawyer, who looked into all of the family's records. And on top of the $300,000 that Dan and his mom were hiding from her, it turns out they were also lying to her about a bunch of other things, like some land that her father had left behind. So the lawyer stepped in and made sure the inheritance was split up evenly. And then Dan and his mom were investigated by the IRS on suspicion of tax fraud. Can you believe it? According to the IRS, while they did divide the inheritance up evenly between the three of them, Dan and his mom had intentionally lied about their tax returns. I was told they were made to pay a fine. I guess messing around with your family's inheritance and trying to keep it all for yourselves has a way of coming back to bite you. April and I still keep in touch. It sounds like she moved away right after she and her family settled everything, and changed her contact information as soon as she was able to get away from her mom and brother. She is now completely out of their wretched little reaches. I say good for her.